I don't want to mess with anything.
To the bishop of the church, especially to the chair of the Commission on Christian Education, Bishop Frank Madison Reed the third, to the leadership of the church at every level, both clergy and laity. My brothers and sisters in Christ, we greet you in the joy of Jesus, our master teacher. And we bring you greetings on this Sunday, which is traditionally Christian Education Sunday in many of our churches within our denomination. We are so happy to have you with us in this CED talk, this particular CED talk entitled Christian Education Now and Next. It gives us an opportunity to highlight some of the ministries of the Department of Christian Education. To quote a famous Christian education professor from ITC, Christian education is that ministry which undergirds all other ministries of the church. Today, we seek to highlight some of the connectional expressions within the Department of Christian Education today. So we are excited to have you. We hope that you will enjoy this conversation and that you will learn something new about the various teaching ministries of our church. We know that there are people joining us from all over the connection. So we're going to invite you to get into the chat and do a roll call. Let us know what Episcopal district you're from, 1 through 20. We want to hear from you and to know that you are in this Christian education room on today. And not only do we want to know what Episcopal district you're from, we know that there are many Christian educators out there. We want to know which of these ministries you are a part of. Are you in FCE? Are you a part of the Debutante Masters Commission? Are you a scout leader or Sons of Allen? Are you in MCAM or RAAC? Are you a curriculum writer? We need to hear from you. Sunday school, church school superintendents, teachers, and students. If you're out there, we need you to represent your ministry on today. We are so happy to have some of the connectional leaders with us on today. Mr. Clarence Creighton, the Connectional Boy Scout Director and co-leader of the Association of AME Scouts. We also have to recognize the strong leader who serves with him, Mrs. Vivian Fry Perry, the Connectional Girl Scout Director. She is from the 5th Episcopal District. Brother Creighton is an active member of the 2nd Episcopal District. We're also happy to have Mrs. Linda Jones Watson with us, the connectional administrator for the Christian Debutante Masters Commission. She hails from the 12th Episcopal District, where she is a strong and faithful leader there. And then we have Ms. Robin Porter Smith, our chair for the Fellowship of Church Educators, a long time and strong Christian educator, serving as the Education Director for the 2nd Episcopal District, and now serving as FCE. We're happy to have Ms. Porter Smith with us. And last but not least, Mr. Monroe Miller, the connectional president of the Sons of Allen, our men's ministry and fellowship, who hails from Columbia, South Carolina, the 7th Episcopal District. And we're glad to have him with us today, even in the midst of the closing of his annual conference, I believe. So we're happy to have Mr. Miller with us on today. So the first question to these connectional leaders, will you share with us a little bit about your journey. How did you come to be a part of the ministry that you now lead? And Brother Creighton, I think we'll begin with you.
Well, all right. Thank you. Thank you. Well, as you've already indicated, I'm from the Second Episcopal District, where our bishop is Bishop James Levert Davis. I came aboard in 1980, excuse me, 1990, I'm sorry, in 1990. I'm getting some feedback. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I apologize. I came on board in 1990 after leaving Florida with my son, heading toward the metropolitan area, Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And as it turned out, the first ministry that we joined was the Boy Scouts. He had asked to join the Scouts when we were in Florida, and as it turned out, we couldn't do it then. But when we moved up here, we joined Ebenezer African Methodist Episcopal Church under the leadership of Reverend Granger and Joanne Browning, Reverend Dr. Granger and Joanne Browning. And the first ministry we came to was the Scouts. And then it was the Married Couples Ministry after that. But the Scouts was the first we came to. So how did it become part of AIMS? In 1996, Reverend Kenneth H. Hill sent out a call. He said, all Scouts come to Nashville, Tennessee. And myself, and it looks like I think we had about 35 or 40 Scouts from all over the country to come there. And he said, he had been he was an Eagle Scout, is an Eagle Scout. And that what happened was that he loved the fellowship of scouting and thought that we should have a brotherhood, sisterhood of scouts in the AME Church. Although we already had scouting as part of the AME Church and part of the discipline since basically the 1930s. So, but he wanted us to he wanted the adults to have a fellowship of brotherhood and sisterhood in scouting. So he called us together. And those 35 or 40 individuals, and there's a couple of us that are still there. I'm one of the founding members. And then we have Anthony Franklin, who's a founding member as well, still with us. And we have Robert McGrath, who's also a founding member, still with us as well. We went on with the AIMS program. Reverend Artis Phillip was the first director of Boy Scouts for AIMS. He was elected in 1996 when we came together, and he resides now in Chicago, Illinois, at the age of 92, I think. Reverend Artis is right now. So since then, my son has gone on to become an Eagle Scout. He left me behind to kind of, tidy up things after he left, and I haven't left yet. So I keep trying to find an exit door, but I just don't seem to find it. It just keeps on. The room gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I love the opportunity that the AME Church and AIMS and Scouting has given me to give us a platform to be able to talk to our youth, our young males, and our females as well in the church, and also to reach out and to spread the ministry of scouting that the AME Church has with the rest of the scouting world.
Wonderful, wonderful. There is a door and there is a key, but I have the key. It's locked from the outside, and I'm not ready to let you go yet, Brother Creighton. So thank you for your leadership. Sister Watson, can you say a bit about the Christian Debutante Masters Commission and how you became involved with it?
Well, mine is actually quite short. First of all, as you said, I'm from the 12th Episcopal District, where Bishop Michael L. Mitchell and Supervisor Cordelia Mitchell are my leaders. But it started in 1994, I believe. I had just gotten married and moved to Lawton, Oklahoma. Bishop Frederick Hilborn Talbot was the bishop at that time, along with Supervisor Sylvia Ross Talbot. And Loretta Hill, who was the connectional CDMC administrator at the time, called Bishop Talbot and told him that she needed someone to be the commissioner in the 12th Episcopal District. Bishop Talbot told his secretary, who happens to be a friend of mine, and she called me, And that was the beginning. It was in November of 1994, I believe. I had to rush and get a ticket to go to New Orleans, Louisiana, because they were having a meeting to get ready for the General Conference, which was that next year. And ever since then, I have been involved since 1994. So it's been a pleasure, and the journey has been very rewarding. But mine, like I said, mine was really short. I've been in it since 1994, and I haven't looked back.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you have done an effective and wonderful job during this time. And we are glad that they called on you and you answered the call. Mr. Robin Porter Smith, uh, I know you have done Christian education for a very long time. You've been, but not that you are old, you started in kindergarten, but can you say something about the Fellowship of Church Educators and how you became involved in this particular ministry within Christian education?
Absolutely, but there's always some truth in a joke. And first, I want to acknowledge that I am from the second district where the Episcopal leadership is Bishop James Levert Davis and Mother Rellis Beavers Davis. And even though you said kindergarten, you really weren't far from the truth. My first introduction into let's just say the formal or the active Christian education, I was actually in junior high school or high school. And my father at that time was pastoring, and a Sunday school teacher was needed. And the superintendent put a church school book in my hand and told me, go teach the junior class from 9 to 11-year-olds. And like I said, I was a teenager. And I think that was the first introduction in terms of the teaching ministry and being creative in terms of making those lessons come alive for them. And so we looked at movies, we talked about books, we talked about events, and showed how you applied that to everyday living. Then from there, started attending the Christian education conferences. And when the Fellowship of Church Educators first started, obviously, I was looking for one of the ministries that continued focusing on the teachers. And so I was able to sit and learn from Sister Carolyn Singleton, who was the first FCE chair, and the subsequent chairs. And one of the things that I enjoyed about the FCE was not only the focus on teaching, but also how there was an encouragement that the teacher is also the student and should continue to learn. So from that point to this is how I continue to be a part of the Christian education ministry, focusing on the education part and even narrowing that down further by being the chair of FCE, which I owe to you. Thank you for appointing me to that position. So while it wasn't that I started in kindergarten, you were close. I was a minor when I started in this ministry.
We always say Christian education is a journey that begins from the cradle and ends from womb to tomb, we always say. And so you have epitomized that. Wonderful. Brother Miller, our son of Allen, president, can you say a word about what brought you to the men's ministry and got you involved in the fraternity of the maroon and gray?
Yeah, greetings to all. I was introduced my family moved to Columbia in 1986, and I became a member of Bishop Memorial AME Church. There, I met some awesome men that were working in the community. They were into the prison ministry. They worked in the schools, and a lot of the energy that they exhibit was inspired me to want to be a part of the Sons of Allen. From what Bishop Green right now is as my bishop, who was a very supporter of the Sons of Allen. Back then, the bishop, and when I came to Bishop Memorial, elder, she's now elder, was Reverend Rosalind Coleman. Now she's Elder Coleman. Was a strong supporter of the Sons of Allen, the men ministry. So we went out into the neighborhoods, we went out into the prisons, we went out these children, and they helped improve them with literacy, even the adults. did some food ministry by exhibiting food, and that inspired me to become part of the Sons of Valor. And the Sons of Valor is a part of my heart. I love what they do. I love what they stand for. And we're looking forward to having more perfect, become closer to doing what God asked us to do than all the ministries in the AME Church and the Christian education.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
As I said at the beginning, uh, even some of our connectional expressions of Christian education, the leaders are not necessarily on this panel, but they have had live broadcasts over these last several months, particularly during this pandemic, and they've shared a bit about the work that they do. The Richard Allen Young Adult Council has had several broadcasts, particularly with the election season in the United States and some other broadcasts. The same true for the Music and Christian Arts Ministry. They had several town hall meetings where they have highlighted the diverse ministries within MCAM. But we certainly want to recognize Ms. Martinique Nix, who serves as the connectional president for RAYAC. She hails from the 6th Episcopal District, and the Reverend Maurice Wright, the second, who serves as the connectional director for music and Christian arts ministry, who hails from the 9th Episcopal District. All of these leaders prepared excellent reports for the 51st session of the General Conference to give account of the stewardship of these ministries over the last 4 plus years. And while we may not watch or see all of them here at this CED talk, it is important for me to note that you can find all of these reports in the YouTube channel for the Department of Christian Education, as well as on the website, the department's website, ameced.com. And if you go to the tab of each of the ministries, you will find their reports to the General Conference there. We will take an opportunity now to view a few of those reports. We'll start with the department's overall report to the General Conference, to be followed by the RAYAC and the Music and Christian Arts Ministry reports. Let's watch those now.
Greetings to the bishops, leaders of the church at every level, both clergy and laity, and members of the General Conference. Christian education is that ministry which undergirds all other ministries of the church. This department has sought to carry out its mandate through its ongoing work as well as new initiatives. The department seeks to provide opportunities for AMEs to come together in person and virtually in worship, fellowship, networking, and shared learning for training in faith formation and leader development. Among them, the 2017 annual ministries in Christian education training and planning meeting in Nashville, the 2018 Quadrennial Christian Education and Youth Congress in Atlanta, the 2019 Ubuntu Christian Education Summit in Cape Town, the first time in the church's history that a general department held one of its regular meetings on the continent of Africa, and the 2021 Becoming Virtual Annual Ministries in Christian Education meeting. The department inaugurated CED Talks, virtual teach-ins, which are webinars that explore various themes related to faith and discipleship formation. One of the core activities of the department is the development of resources. The department partnered with the publishing house in the redesign of the adult church school curriculum, liberating faith studies, and the senior high level curriculum. We have expanded our offering of resources in languages beyond English. One of our foundational resources, People of the Anvil, is now offered in Spanish, Portuguese, French, Dutch, Haitian Creole, and for the first time, an indigenous African language, Swahili. During the pandemic, free intergenerational and devotional resources have been offered weekly. The department continues its partnership with the AME Zion and CME Christian education departments, offering Advent and Lenten devotional resources. Many receive by email and via social media the daily spiritual vitamins, a redesigned and focused mini devotional resource based on the themes of the church school curriculum. We redesigned the department's website, increasing the offerings so that it is an inviting and engaging space for information and resource sharing for those in teaching ministries. Likewise, the department has established its presence on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Through its NIA internship program, the department has hosted 2 interns as they explored vocations in the teaching ministry. Related to ecumenical faith formation and collaboration, I've participated and presented at a number of interdenominational gatherings. I've served as the co-convener of the Christian Education, Ecumenical Faith Formation, and Leadership Development Convening Table for the National Council of Churches, USA. The department continues its participation and support of the ecumenical development of the church school curriculum outlined under the National Council of Churches, USA Committee on the Uniform Series, with myself having served as the chair of the Scope and Sequence Subcommittee of CUS, and now as chair of the Committee on the Uniform Series, privileged to be the first AME to do so in the committee's 149-year history. I am also an AME representative to the World Methodist Council, serving on the Personnel and Education Committees. I also have the privilege to serve as consultant to the Commission on Ministry Recruitment and Development under the leadership of its chair, Bishop Ronnie Brailsford. We offer a series of learning labs at the department meetings on gift discovery and vocational discernment. Finally, I have been privileged to serve as preacher, presenter, teacher, and/or participant at services, conferences, meetings, and gatherings in 16 of the 20 Episcopal districts. For a fuller view of the work of Christian education, we commend to you the separate reports of the ministries which are a part of the department. I thank the chair of the commission, Bishop David R. Daniels, for his enthusiastic support. Likewise, I thank the bishops, commission members, general officer colleagues, connectional leaders of the ministries of Christian education, the dedicated department staff, and my first Christian educators, Mr. and Mrs. Fletcher J. and Sylvia Singletary Pierce, and all those who give leadership in and support the ministries of Christian education at every level of the church. To God be the glory.
Well, I wondered why I was so tired. We've been a little busy over these last 4 or 5 years, and that does not even tell the whole story. We are so excited to see the uh, persons answering the roll call in the chats, and we ask that you continue to do so. Let us know that you are here. You have represent your ministry, represent your Episcopal district. We want to know where you are in the connection and the leadership that you give, particularly to the teaching ministry. In the same vein of thinking about what we have done in Christian education, we move now to our young adult ministry fellowship, the Richard Allen Young Adult Council, and hear the report that ministry offered at the General Conference to get a sense of the work that we are doing in the area of young adult ministry, to young adults and with young adults and for young adults.
For the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Starting in the beginning, 2016, RAG hosted a record of 6 events at General Conference. We said goodbye to Dr. Daryl Ingram and elected former President Dr. Garland Pierce. 2017, RAG hosted its first connectional meeting in Atlanta, Georgia. Host church New Bethel AME Church, with presenters such as Reverend Kenitris Houston, Reverend Dr. Ronald Slaughter, and Jamisha Williams. Attendees were not only treated to numerous workshops, but there was also a lively worship service and planning sessions with several committees meeting. At the end, attendees were treated to a mental health session, including art for therapy. At the 28th Quadrennial Christian Education and Youth Congress, RAG hosted its first RAG Vibes, an evening of connecting with spoken word and art. This event followed the election and appointment of a new administration of officers and committee chairpersons to the Connectional RAG Executive Board. 2019, we joined Ubuntu and the 15th Episcopal District. Following a week of meetings, including connecting with the Connectional Lodi, President Mix traveled to the 19th Episcopal District for their Episcopal RAG retreat. RAG has traveled to numerous connectional meetings and events, not only through the AME Church, but beyond the walls. As well, President Mix and the Executive Board have formed lasting partnerships with the young adults of the AME Zion and CME churches. Throughout this last year, RAG has used its voice in this virtual realm and has partnered with many other components on all levels. We have also used our voice for increasing voter turnout in the last general election of the United States. We are not just talking about changes, but we are working on becoming the change we wish to see. Last but not least, we created a new logo with our unofficial motto, One RAYAC, One Church. This upcoming year, we celebrate 25 years under the name RAYAC. Special shout out to Bishop Daniels, Dr. Pierce, the Connectional E-Board, all members of RAYAC. One RAYAC, one church, one God. Thank you.
Well, our young adults have been busy as well, and we salute them and celebrate them for their witness and service to God, to God's church, and to the whole world. Uh, there's a little delay in the videos, but I hope you get this good news just the same, that the church is very much alive and that the teaching ministry in its many forms is going forward, undergirding and nurturing and helping to support the development and the formation of faith and creating and making disciples for the world. And certainly, when we talk about forming faith, we know the role that worship plays. And it is our music and Christian arts ministry, which is a part of the Department of Christian Education, that helps to form faith through the various expressions of the arts that support and nurture faith through worship. And so we take a moment to watch the Music and Christian Arts Ministry report, which was prepared for the General Conference. The music, the visual arts, the dramatic arts, the liturgical dance, the audio and visual ministries. And so we celebrate all that all the ministries have done, but particularly Music and Christian Arts Ministry that has done a special work of resourcing congregations and the denomination during this pandemic. So let us hear from MCAM now.
Debutante and Master Administrator. To the Senior Bishop Adam J. Richardson, Bishop John F. White, General Conference Commission Chair, Bishop David R. Daniels, Christian Education Department Commission Chair, Bishop Michael L. Mitchell, Bishop of the 12th Episcopal District and my bishop, bishops and supervisors, the Reverend Dr. Garland Pierce, Connectional Chair of the Christian Education Department, to all officers and members of the General Conference. The Christian Debutante and Masters Commission makes the following report for 2016 through 2020. The mission of Christian Debutante and Masters Commission can be found in the 5th edition of our handbook. Our purpose is to provide guidance and information relevant to the study of the church, encourage spiritual growth, and promote involvement in community activities. The youth who participate in CDMC have been quite busy over the past 4 years. Our youth give back to the community and others by volunteering at food banks, nursing homes, Meals on Wheels, homeless shelters, group home for youth, making dresses from pillows for children in Africa, collecting shoes for Souls for Souls. Even helping get out the vote during the election. They do a lot and so much more. We
call. The Music and Christian Arts Ministry is pleased to present our report. This is our story. This is our song. A story is told in a multitude of ways, in song, in dance, in drama, with instruments, with visual arts, by choirs, and by youth and young adults. These are the many ways our ministry functions as we continue to lift not just music, but Christian arts. Listen to our connectional director, the Reverend Maurice Wright II, as he presents our report.
Under the leadership of our immediate past director, the Reverend Anthony B. Vinson Sr., MCAM played a
So technology is perfect and great when it works, right? We think that the delays are such now that it may not be helpful for us to get the full feel of these ministry reports, but we got a little taste of the CDMC report and the fine work that these young people and the adults who work with them have been doing as this rites of passage ministry helps to develop young people into Christian adulthood, and just a tidbit of what the Music and Christian Arts Ministry has been up to over these 4+ years. And again, I encourage you to go to ameced.com and go to the various ministry pages, and there you will find these reports, and you can watch them and read through them at your leisure. But in the same vein of talking about what these ministries have been able to do, I want to turn to the panelists who are with us today and ask them in about 1 or 2 minutes or so to give us some highlights from the past quadrennium. And we'll start again with Brother Creighton and Sister Porter Smith. Get ready.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So the Association of AME Scouts have been busy over the last 4 plus 1 year. We have Over the past quadrennial +1, our AIM Scouts have earned badges. We've been camping out in our backyards as well as campgrounds and doing high adventure camp. There's been STEM camps. We focus heavily on STEM and AIMS. And we've been advocates for our community and getting out the votes. We have started a new scout unit. We have started new scout units and even sat on boards as board members. I am a board member with BSA National for the Religious Relations Program. I'm the chair of their membership there, so that was pretty good. The Girl Scouts of Eastern Missouri, Sister Vivian Fry Perry sits with them on their council board as well. Some of our Girl Scouts have earned their Gold Awards, and some of our Boy Scouts have went on and earned their Eagle Award over the last 4+ years. As AIMS, we're proudly look back over these past 5 years and look forward to the future. We have and are still creating programs to challenge our scouts and our youth. Below is just a sample of the work that we've been doing and new opportunities we are creating for our youth and for our leaders. AIMS has joined up with AME International Health Commission and with the Sons of Allen and with FAME to put on a competition for gardening. We believe that our youth have lost touch with gardening and where their fruits and vegetables and so forth is coming from. And we believe this is an opportunity for us to become self-sustaining in our own communities so that when we do have crisis, we're still able to feed ourselves. We have the Charles Cleveland and the Joyce Charles Scholarship Awards Program. One award is given each year to a Girl Scout and a Boy Scout, outstanding Girl Scout and Boy Scout. We also have been promoting the Bishop Award of Excellence. This is in every Episcopal district. The Bishop Award of Excellence is able to be earned. We've also started a new program that was called the Episcopal Patch Series, where we identified 8 of our previous bishops. Excuse me, I'm trying to get to the screen there. Okay. And we're doing a new award this year, which is going to be called the Dr. Kenneth H. Hill Legacy Award. This award will be given to units or to individuals who have started, who was part of the original formation of a scout unit in a church or an AME scout unit in a church. These individuals, we can give them posthumously as well as live. But the first one this year will be going to the founder of that award, and that will be Reverend Dr. Kenneth H. Hill. And it will be the Kenneth H. Hill Legacy Award. In collaboration with the Women's in Ministry, we helped produce a History Month patch series was created. That was done with the skill and the attentiveness of our secretary, and that's Reverend Dr. Missouri McPhee. In that collaboration, we did that. We continue efforts at the programs with Pray. Pray is a program of religious activities with youth. This is a national program. All of our scouts, not only just scouts, but any youth anywhere in the country can become a part of Pray or can enter Pray. And whatever their faith is, they will be able to move forward and learn more about their faith and be stronger in their faith. AIMS will be working with the World Organization of Scout Movement and the World Association of Girl Guilds and Girl Scouts for our youth in the districts 14 through 20. BSA and GS, Girl Scouts USA, is basically on the continent, in the presence of the United States. So when we go outside the United States, we have to do it at a world level. So this year we'll be working on making that connection and making sure that our youth from districts 14 through 20 will be able to be involved in scouting. We will be doing a clothing drive for scout uniforms that have been outgrown by some of our previous scouts, and we'll be able to send those uniforms to scouts in other parts of our denomination, the connection. Ames will be forming a board of other youth service organizations, i.e. the YMCA, 4-H, Junior Achievement, and other organizations like that, so that we're able to serve all youth, giving them an opportunity to be all that God has them had intended for them to be. We believe this world is too small for us to limit ourselves to just the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scout organization, when there's a lot of really fine youth organizations out there, and we need to collaborate with them to make sure that we're giving our scouts everything they possibly can get so they can be everything that God would have them to be. Ames has already partnered with, as I said earlier, with the AME Health Commission, International AME Health Commission, and the Social Action Commission, and the AME Women in Ministry to create projects with them. We're also add to that the Sons of Allen. We are working right now, Brother Miller, with, as you have directed, Brother Stan Smith to work with us on gardening, so that we can make sure that gardening is exposed to all of our churches and all of our scouts. Ames has and will be holding learning seminars on STEM, emergency preparedness, financial awareness and responsibility, climate control, health, lifestyles, and healthy eating. Those are some of the things that we'll be doing in the future. But these past 4+ years have been exciting. We believe that the pandemic was not something that to be upset about and to disturb us, but it allowed us to see who we really are. We believe Ames believes that we are a global people serving an omnipotent and omnipresent God, developing global citizens. Challenges are designed to reveal who we are and what we are made of and who we really trust. And we trust God. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Scouts and scout leaders are doers and not just hearers of the word. And so we are thankful for that report, because you have shown us just what the scouting ministry can do and is doing, and what you will do in the future. So thank you. You mentioned Sons of Allen. So I wonder if I could go now to Brother Miller to share one or two highlights from the last several years for the Connectional Sons of Allen.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Pierce. Our goal is just to work where and when and how God wants us to work. And during the past 4 years, we've done quite a bit. We contributed. When I went down to the Bahamas during the problem down there they had during the the hurricane. And while we were there, we awarded 2 scholarships to students attending the Dillard School there that were over to that came from Abaco, the island that got totally destroyed. We contributed 2 scholarships to them. We contributed to the renovation of a local church there that was tore up real bad that they could not worship into it. We've made donations to the Sickle Cell Foundation, the Aid Foundation, disaster relief. We work very diligently in the voting, trying to get people to the polls and educate them on the use of the need to vote. We've provided food bank. We work food banks, financial assistance to a lot of different organizations. And our ongoing work, we're growing, participating in both adults and youth. We're trying to be more active in engaging in the units and the chapters and the conference of each Episcopal district. We're trying to extend the ministry into the greater communities, develop and perform ministries that is relevant, effective, needed, and aligned with the will of God. We're enhancing the connection between men from all Episcopal districts of the church. And we're looking forward in the upcoming years. We will continue to invite men from across the connection to become active, participate in the Sons of Allen. We will increase our effort to engage our youth in developing a healthy life skills. Uh, it has been exciting. We are working very hard to continue to do God's will. Those are just some of the things that the Sons of Allen has done in the past 4 or 5 years.
Thank you so much, Mr. Miller and the Sons of Allen Ministry for the fine work that you're doing and for the commitment to continue that work. You mentioned young people, and we heard a little bit of their report. So I'm going to ask Sister Linda Joe if she might give one or two highlights that we might not have caught in the video clips with the delays. We heard some of the fine work, but maybe there are one or two other points that you'd like to make.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pierce. Pretty much, it did say most of it, but a couple of things that you may not know is some of the things that are happening with the CDMC through the pandemic. Of course, I couldn't put it all in the video because we only had a short period of time, but there you go. I want you to know that one of the districts raised over $50,000 and gave out $35,000 in scholarships, which is excellent. Our districts have been having workshops on things such as bullying and COVID issues among our young people. One thing that we couldn't put in the video because it hadn't happened was that we decided that even though we were virtual, we would still do our outreach project. And across the district, across the connection, we collected over 400 pairs of socks that we left in Orlando, Florida at a family and children's youth center. We have artists around, so some of the other things are we have young people that are doing artwork, and some of that artwork was presented at a museum, and just a lot of things that our young people are busy doing. They are not stagnant, even though we're in COVID. Things are still moving forward. Another thing that you wouldn't have known about is the Book of Prayers, and you'll probably hear more about that as we get to some of the other questions.
Excellent. Thanks so much. And that Book of Prayer is an excellent resource for your devotional life. These are prayers, some written by the young people, some written by the adults who work with the young people. But it's a wonderful resource for your daily or regular devotion. Sister Robin Porter Smith, we know that the Fellowship of Church Educators is a large umbrella that takes in all the various ministries of Christian education, particularly those in the form of Bible study and teaching and church school. Won't you say a word about the work that FCE has been doing?
Gladly. Thank you, Dr. Pierce. Sorry about that. One of the things that we've done, one of several things we've done rather, is we provided administrative support for the connectional certification program during the connectional Christian Ed meeting in 2018. We planned and facilitated the Christian education organizing for congregational learning and how to get started workshop during the Ubuntu Christian education meeting in South Africa in February 2019. We're excited because we implemented our FCE educational project, specifically targeting educational programs in districts 14 through 20. And we were able to give a book stipend in the 15th district and aid Cezanne High School in the 20th district during June 2019. With COVID, it slowed us down, but it didn't stop us. And so we're looking to give out another project or stipend, whatever is the need for 2 more districts. And once we get those confirmed, we will happily announce those projects and where they go. We revised our FCE bylaws. There's always administrative work to do. We also facilitated the connectional virtual baccalaureate, which many of you saw last year in July 2020. We've established the FCE Fellowship Hall Facebook page, and we have our FCE email. And we also celebrated virtually Christian Education Month last September with a breakfast, What's on Your Table, along with the message from the MCAM Director, Reverend Maurice White. We presented Sankofa, Transforming Our Future by Learning from Our Past Learning Lab, and we facilitated the VBS Learning Lab during the MCE meeting in April of this year. That's FCE, but in addition to FCE, our officers have been busy. Not only have they been presenting workshops and attending different meetings, but we've also reached out at the ecumenical level. In December of 2019, we were able to attend the AME Zion Church Christian Education meeting called Truthville. We also submitted a Health Commission COVID-19 video regarding air and light. And basically, that's the work. In terms of what our future plans are, we're looking to update some litanies, provide additional resources, and to continue the development of workshops and assist in the area of teaching and also training our teachers. God bless you, and thank you for just the opportunity to speak on FCE and the great work we've been doing.
Thank you so much, Sister Porter Smith. And I know you called me Prince because that's how highly you think of me.
Exactly.
Well, as you can tell, we also have a lot of fun among the leaders in Christian education. We are like a family. We work together, but we rag and joke each other as well. Believe it or not, friends, we are almost to the end of our time together, and I probably have 100 more questions to ask you, but I think we'll move to a lightning round, if you will, and I'll ask one last question of each of you as we think about this theme of what we've done in the past, now, and next. Here's the question. When you think about your ministry in 20 words or less, I just made it harder, didn't it? 20 words or less, your greatest joy and your greatest challenge. Your greatest joy, your greatest challenge.
Oh boy.
I bet you Porter can't do it in 20 words.
All right, you're on.
A little friendly wager there to see who can really do it in 20 words, right? So when you think of your ministry, your greatest joy and your greatest challenge. So it can be something that you all have done already, or as you look to the future, you are expecting to do. Your greatest joy and your greatest challenge. Who wants to go first? All right, Brother Creighton.
Okay. Mine is pretty simple, I think, anyway. In 20 words or less. My greatest joy is getting an opportunity to meet our awesome Boy Scout and Girl Scout leaders across the country. We do a monthly call-in, and we have Girl Scouts and Boy Scout leaders from all over the country coming in together and talking about and sharing what's happening in their particular area, and also sharing information as to what we can do to improve ourselves and make ourselves more relevant in their ministry of scouting. My biggest challenge right now is that making sure that we're able to address the needs and the concerns and of the 14th through the 20th Episcopal District. We are a global church serving a global God, which means that we need to reach those corners of the world as well as the four corners of the United States.
Excellent. Excellent. I don't know if that was 20 words, but it was good. It was good. Who wants to go next?
I'll go
Well,
next. I'm going to beat Monroe before he starts. The greatest joy for us, like I said, I know I talked about the FCE educational project. That was our greatest joy because, again, there's been much discussion about districts 14 through 20 feeling isolated, and we wanted those members to know that we are you, you are us, and that whatever your need is, we're here for you. The challenge is continuing to get the message out that teaching is not a dirty word. It is important to educate. It's important for the educator to realize they also need to be educated. So that's it. Probably 30 words, but that's it. I'm done.
Thank you, Brother Monroe.
okay, my greatest joy is witnessing the work of witnessing the work and the communication of the Sons of Adam across the connection, seeing that the organization structure that we've been put in place being used, and witnessing the true at heart commitment of the brothers across the connection. 19 words.
Thank you so much, Brother Miller. A wonderful joy, a wonderful challenge, and in 19 words, people, in 19 words. Sister Linda Joe, you think you can lead it?
I can't do it. But my greatest joy is the willingness that I see of the young people to want to be a part of CDMC, starting from Alanites, going all the way to the Debs and the Masters. And I have to say, it was a joy that we had 9 young people from the 19th Episcopal District to participate in the CDMC ceremony. That was a joy. My greatest challenge is every district knowing that CDMC is a great teaching tool. And it hurts me when somebody says, I don't know about CDMC. So my greatest challenge is to make sure that everyone knows about CDMC across the connection. You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. I think she did that in 18 words.
And she did it in 18 words. Okay. You know, we're not math teachers. We're Christian educators, so our count might be a little bit off. But I want to thank all of you for your faithful leadership, for your work, and certainly for your participation today in this CED Talk. And one of the reasons for this CED Talk on this Christian Education Sunday is to raise the awareness about the diverse ministries which are part of the Department of Christian Education and the teaching ministry of the church, because in far too many cases, there are people who simply are not aware of some of the fine work that these ministries are doing. So thank you, and to all those who work with you for the work that you are doing. And we praise God for you today. And we are praying for you as we move to whatever next holds for all of these ministries in Christian education. For a few announcements, it is Christian Education Sunday, and maybe you have heard something today that has inspired you. We encourage you to reach out to us on Facebook, reach out to us at our website, ameced.com. Be in touch with one of these ministry leaders if you seek greater involvement. And should you want to support the department financially, we would welcome that gift as well. You can visit ameced.com/giving. And there you will find all the various options you have to give to the department, including writing a check to the AME Church Department of Christian Education and mailing it to P.O. Box 33, 1947, Nashville, Tennessee, 37203. And then there are also various electronic methods as well that you'll find there on the website. As I've said already, you can find all the reports and more information about all the ministries at our website. You'll also be able to find the programming from Christian Education at the recent General Conference, including the virtual church school, the virtual CDMC dedicatory service, the Music and Christian Arts Ministries hymn workshop. You can find those at the website. You can find those at the department's YouTube channel as well. Also on the website, you can find a number of resources. The department has produced resources for devotion and intergenerational activities. During the pandemic, you can find those resources in the free resources section of the department's page, as well as resources for Christian Education Month or September, including a nice a Zoom virtual background for the month of September. A lot of resources, litanies and recruitment ideas, as well as the people of the Anvil in various languages. So we invite you to go and spend some time on our website. The Fellowship of Church Educators will host a virtual family celebration and game time October 16th. We're doing that in partnership with the AME Church Publishing House's Church School Sunday. Church School Sunday will be October 17th. And so this will be a pre-event that kind of leads up to Church School Sunday. It'll be Bible trivia and Christian education trivia and exploring, reviewing, and preparing the themes related to the church school for September and October this quarter. So we invite you to be on the lookout to receive more information related to that. The Music and Christian Arts Ministry will have its executive board meeting December 20th through 22nd at Ebenezer AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina, in the 7th Episcopal District with my bishop, Bishop Samuel Green. So there is no registration for this executive board meeting. It's a wonderful time for the members to come together and do the work of that ministry, but also to have trainings and continuing education for those involved in MCAM. And so look for more information for that, and we look forward to your participation. This coming summer 2022, the first part of the summer of 2022 will be our Quadrennial Christian Education and Youth Congress. We will relaunch the Connectional Christian Education Certification Program at that time. Many of the ministries will hold their elections for connectional leadership at that time. So be on the lookout for the early part of summer 2022 for the Connectional Christian Education and Youth Congress. There's probably something that I am forgetting, but I think those are the main announcements that we would share with you at this particular time. Let me thank again the leaders of the ministries in Christian education, those who are part of the panel, as well as Ms. Mix and Reverend Wright. We certainly have to thank our immediate past chair, Bishop David Daniels, and we are excited about the leadership of our new chair, Bishop Frank Madison Reed III. We expect to go even higher and broader and greater with his leadership. Certainly also to Ms. Fry Perry, the Connectional Girl Scout Director, Woods Digital Solutions, Ms. Carlene L. Douglas, the department's office administrator, Ms. Kirtiana Freeland, our webinar broadcast producer, and to the bishops of the church, leaders of the church at every level. We see you, we Thank you for being with us, and we thank you for your continued support. And know that the Department of Christian Education and all the ministries which make up that department are here to serve our congregations, to serve our denomination, in order that we might be about making disciples, faithful, informed, and nurtured disciples, to testify to the liberating and salvific power of the gospel, and a God who loves each and every one of you. Blessings to you on this Christian Education Sunday and the month of September, Christian Education Month. We look forward to working with you. Look for more CED Talks webinars to come. God bless you and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless everyone.
Wow.
Thank